suddenly saw the 57, 56, 55. It was, so I apologise to my group as well, who I have to say were absolutely fantastic and have made me write loads.
Good, good. That's what we like to hear. So I'm just going to put up one final slide, really, as soon as I can find my PowerPoint. So, I mean, thank you so much for the information. I'm hoping in your groups you're able to look at some solution as well as the things that are concerning you, and to share some of the things that have been going well for you as groups. And it's a nice opportunity in a smaller group to be able to do that than we can do in a large room like this. So, you know, that's really good. But actually, on a slightly selfish note, from our point of view, the opportunity to get the intel from you about the concerns that you're facing informs the way that we move forward, so that we can provide a service that actually is directly linked to the needs that you have. So next week's webinar is directly linked to what we've done today. So we'll be taking those concerns from each of the 3 groups, begin to marry it up, because there will be huge overlap between them, and section it off so that actually we can come back and we can deliver a webinar that is based around planning around those concerns and solutions around those concerns. Now, I use solutions advisedly, because solutions can often only be suggestions, or they can be possible ways forward, but I'm just being very positive in my framing. So the final things really to leave you with, it's kind of a summary from really everything that we've done, is recovery planning, RP, and things to remember. Take care of people. That is the first important thing that we have to do. We have to stop, take a breath, risk assess, make sure that we can reopen, restart, carry on safely, using the guidance to hand. And if there isn't direct guidance for your particular industry, it is a sign that your industry is not supposed to be open yet, at least to the public. There are other ways, of course, that you can open. You can open as a discrete service, you can open online, but opening to the public is something that we're talking about with the next stage. Social distancing and hygiene. These are the ways in which we will keep people safe, both our staff, our volunteers, and of course, customers. And that's really important to hold on to. Have to plan for that all the way down the line, and think about teams. How do we keep the same people working together so that we haven't got constant crossovers of staff and volunteers? Phase your recovery. Don't expect to open, click, government turn around and say, great, we can open up village halls on the 31st of August. Does that work? And don't go, oh, click, that's straight away. We should be thinking about a phase. So from government announcement, you should have an idea of what you're going to put in those phases. If you start cleaning too soon and you end up closed for another month, you could argue that's a waste of money, because you're going to have to do it all over again. So being able to phase it, being able to work out what are the triggers, what are the things that you're going to respond to. For example, a government announcement, the guidance being made available, that kind of thing. Remember, if you've done a good risk assessment, fantastic, very proud of you, but you probably are going to have to adapt it or create a new one for this next phase. Keep everyone informed, staff, volunteers, customers, talk to each other. It's really vitally important that you do that. Otherwise, whole swathes of your business won't know what's happening. Train staff and volunteers. There's going to be new ways of working. And the only way that people are going to be able to work within those new hygiene rules, within the new social distancing, is if they've been trained. External communication. Build desire. Make people want you. Tell people that you're coming back, whatever it may be. Even if it's not yet. Telling people, we want to come back as your village hall. How do you want us to look in the future? Start engage with your customers. Start asking them questions. Build up that email list. And use staff effectively. You've got the immediate crisis where everybody's running around to keep up, but there has to be a point prior to recovery where you have to reset, where you have to slow down. We ourselves are looking at mid-June that we will probably take a week where we won't do a webinar, where we won't do any bulletin, where actually I will get to pull everybody back to take that breath and to begin our plan for our next phase. Because I can't have everybody running full steam and expect them to be able to also plan for what we need to do next. We've got to allow those breaks, and it's beholden on us to take those decisions. So again, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for attending. Thank you for taking part. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we really look forward to seeing you next time. I'm just going to, before we finally go, just going to ask anybody if there's any messaging that I've forgotten. So Joe, Anita, Ray, anything that, Anita?
Unmute myself. I think the only thing is to say that those people who have joined us for the first time today, we've been doing this for 10 weeks. All of the past resources are on the DCA website, and all of the resources and the recordings and the chat from today will be on the website. I think there's still an awful lot to discuss and talk about that is going to emerge over the coming weeks.
Lovely. Thank you, Anita.
One
question. Oh, sorry, Joe.
One question that came up in the chat that would have been really good to cover in the session that I was in to do with venues is how does somebody police the hirer when they go in to use the venue for social distancing and making sure that they're cleaning the venue?
Great. So we'll put that into our concern list, and we'll broach that as a subject, I think, as we look at next week when we're looking at exactly how we tackle some of those issues, because you're absolutely right. That's a massive question. So thank you, whoever posted that on the chat. That's really useful, because exactly when we talk about new ways of working, that's exactly the kind of thing that we mean. So again, thank you everybody for all your contributions, and I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.